Do you have a camper that's been in the woods for the past year? Does it look something like this? Well, many professional detailers, myself included, we use a whole host of products to clean this vehicle, but today we're gonna show you how you can use just the top 3 products from our last video, the tier list, to clean the entire thing. So stick along with this while we cover that. The 3 products we're gonna be using to clean it: all-purpose cleaner, a glass cleaner, and a car wash soap. Now, a camper is pretty similar to a lot of cars you'd wash, but there are a lot of nuances that you gotta be careful of when doing it so you don't cause damage to these surfaces. So we're gonna start off with up on the roof. We're starting up here on the roof because just like a normal vehicle, anything clean up here is just gonna run down the sides and ruin the work you did on the sides. So we're gonna start up here, make sure we get this nice and clean, but this is also the most dangerous spot to be detailing beyond the obvious risk of falling off the vehicle, but because it's a high likelihood of causing leaks if you don't do it properly. Now, there's a couple areas you need to really focus on not putting pressure on if you're using a pressure washer. One of those areas is all this caulking around just about everything on the roof. You can see how heavy they go with this caulk, just because it is a really high likelihood of it leaking this area. When you see these campers age, this caulk breaks down and then water escapes into the inside of the vehicle, and they have to make these campers light, so a lot of the materials are super thin. So it doesn't take much for water damage to go in and break those up. So what we're gonna do to clean this, we'll pre-treat it with the all-purpose cleaner, and then we'll come through with our foam cannon, having our car wash soap in it, and we'll just go through and lightly agitate it with a brush, and then we'll just lightly rinse it. You don't have to be using a pressure washer directly onto this kind of surface. They're a little soft. And then another thing you wanna watch out for when you're up here, these plastics that are, vents or skylights over top of the bathroom there, the UV really breaks those down and makes them brittle. So of course you wanna make sure you're not stepping on them or like putting any pressure or unnecessary pressure on top of those, because after the sun's beating on these for a while, you can really wear them out quickly. Because I'm a one-man film crew up here, I'm just gonna talk about all the steps rather than having to bring you guys up and down with me. So because we're only using 3 products today, that's what we're gonna leave to clean. But if I was a professional detailer doing this job, I would also want to be putting some kind of protectant back onto here to prevent the UV rays from the sun breaking it down. So I would normally take like a ceramic coating and put it on top of these plastics. It helps keep them from becoming brittle. It helps the dirt clean off easier. There's just a lot of extra benefits of having these kind of things protected on all the surfaces up here. Today we're only using 3 products, so we're not gonna be doing that, but if we weren't, I would be doing that extra step. All right, now let me grab the camera and I'll zoom in on a couple of the other spots that require some additional attention here. Some other spots you should watch out for. There's a gutter that runs along the whole length of this camper, as you can see. So anything that's on the roof here, water runs down and then collects on top of the awning there or in this gutter. So when we're cleaning, we're gonna obviously clear out that gutter and make sure that it can free flow water and doesn't clog up and then leave things on top of our awning here. Now that the roof has been taken care of, the first step of doing the outside of the sides of the camper is gonna be to pre-treat it with a high pH product like the all-purpose cleaner. So we go through, but there's a lot of surface area here, rather than just like spraying this all down with all-purpose cleaner, what we'll do is we'll put that actually in our foam cannon, and then that'll be able to dilute the all-purpose cleaner enough for us and be able to cover a good surface area in this camper quickly. We'll let that soak for a second and we're gonna pressure wash it off. It's important when you're cleaning any camper, chances are you probably aren't in a garage, you're probably outside, and if you can shoot for a day that's not sunny, that'd be ideal. If there's no other way around it and you have to be washing in direct sunlight, be very cognizant that you don't let products dry on the vehicle. So as I'm using this APC, if I were to let that dry on there, all the water that's kind of diluted in the APC will evaporate out and just leave behind a super concentrated solution onto the panel, which on some surfaces could damage it. So what's ideal, spray it on, you work in sections if you have to. Just make sure that the whole vehicle is staying wet as you're doing this. Why we're pre-treating this with the all-purpose cleaner is you see all this buildup of, this one's probably mostly pollen, but a little bit of mold and stuff in there, all these streaks all up into here. This stuff will all start to get broken down by the all-purpose cleaner and remove most of the debris off before we're even touching it. These are really big surfaces, especially where it's black. If we just start scrubbing that dirt and soil onto the surface, you end up leaving all kinds of scratches all over it, and then it won't look super clean and pretty like the day you got it. But by pre-treating it like this, we'll go through, pressure wash it off, we remove most of the debris, So that way when we come back through with the car wash soap and a brush, we're just kind of exfoliating the surface, getting the stuff in the nooks and crannies, not the big surface area. So watch as I pressure wash this off, you'll see most of that just comes right off here. You see the big heavy stuff came off, but it still leaves a little bit on there that we'd want to be able to scrub off. It won't get it perfectly clean without some kind of mechanical touching of it, but it gets the majority off and makes it a lot safer as we're doing it. So I'm just gonna go through, pressure wash this off, and then we'll move on. Oh, one last tip when you're doing this, don't spray, just like I always talk about the caulk on the roof, don't spray the pressure washer directly into these seams. Because again, this stuff is just thin materials that are joined together right here and then have some caulk to prevent that. If you're pressure washing into that, you're probably gonna get away with it the first time. The second time, after a couple of years of it aging, it'll start breaking this down and then you're gonna have a leak there. And if you imagine you're driving on the highway, if it's in a rainstorm, this is taking a lot of water on in the front. So you wanna preserve this as much as we can. So use as little pressure as possible. Keep the pressure washer a distance away if you can. That way we're not taking any unnecessary risks. Growing up, I spent every single weekend living in a camper because I race motocross and we take a camper to the races. So Friday through Sunday, every weekend from the time I was 4 to I was 21, spent living in a camper. So we washed our camper quite a bit. Could you imagine being at a dirt bike track? Dirt gets all over them all the time. I never did it with a foam cannon when I was growing up. It was always just a bucket and splashing, you get the soap all over you. Having the foam cannon is a total game changer for washing a camper. So if you don't have one, I'd highly suggest investing in one for that. Now we're gonna pressure wash this off. Some things to keep in mind, around that speaker, there was a lot of buildup like it did in the front that I pressure washed. Now that has like the subwoofer right behind that. I don't wanna pressure wash directly in on that because you can rip those kind of materials. So while I said we don't wanna brush the heavy grime areas, that's a plastic component. So brushing that is gonna be a lot safer than pressure washing it because we're not risking the high pressure going into the speaker. Another area, this is the exhaust and intake for the furnace for the camper. Don't spray water directly in this. It'd be like spraying it right inside your airbox of your car or right inside the exhaust pipe. Not quite exactly the same way, but a good rule of thumb is just don't spray water in air intakes and exhausts. So avoid that if you can. It's okay just to go over top of it. It is exposed to the elements like rain and things like that, so it's okay if a little bit of water gets in there, but don't be pressure washing directly at it. Kind of common sense, but on the internet here, you never know. You gotta say everything. It's nice when we're pre-washing, pre-soaking, pre-treating with all-purpose cleaner. There was 2 pieces of bird poop. One was right here, one's right here. But pre-treating with that all-purpose cleaner, it breaks this down so fast. If you were just to wipe over that with a wash mitt, it gets trapped in the wash mitt, you start dragging all over the car. Birds eat a lot of things, and sometimes their poop isn't soft. It's like pretty aggressive. So besides the fact that it's already acidic, this will help break it down and keep that debris off the surface as we're contact washing it later. If you never pressure washed a camper, pressure washing directly up this, which I don't know if Brett just got that on camera, but that gutter shoots water directly back at you. Sorry. So it's good to kind of stand off to the side, spray it on the sides like this rather than spraying directly up at it. Just another quick tip. Another thing I've learned from personal experience, make sure all your windows are shut and locked. Sometimes, I mean, I've already been pressure washing a camper back in the day, and then even if it's just a little bit, then you go inside, you're like, how the heck is the entire inside of the blind soaking wet? And it's a pain to clean. So make sure they're shut, locked before you start doing all this. So you notice when we're doing the wheels, normally we wash your car, we do the wheels first. You can do that too on this one, but The whole camper surface is higher than the wheels, so it's not typically as big of an issue as it is on a car. Since we're only using 3 products today, I would just spray the all-purpose cleaner on here good and proper, let that soak for a minute, and then take a brush or just brush over the wheels, brush in the rims, things like that. If we were using other products, I'd probably use maybe an iron remover or a dedicated wheel cleaner, but all-purpose cleaner will do a pretty good job of breaking down the soils, getting the dirt off of them, making them nice and shiny. So here I'm just using a stiff bristle brush for the tires, and then a wheel barrel brush for getting inside. When you're doing the wheels, a little hard now because they're covered in soap, but once we pressure wash this off, it's a good time to check to see if your tires are dry rotted. It's a really common problem on campers because vehicles that sit and the tires don't move, they become dry rotted pretty quickly. It's a really common problem on campers, and why it's especially a problem, this has happened to us personally, if you have a dry rotted tire, if you're going down the road, they blow apart with some serious force. And if you have it that tire blows apart in such a way that it's flapping, it will go up and it just blows apart the bottom of the camper. I'm talking right through the floors, because the materials are so thin because these things had to be light. It completely destroys it. So in my camper, we had a dry rotted tire, it blew, and it was right next to the septic tank. And it blew apart the septic tank. Luckily it was on the way to the race, so it was just blue water in there. But we had a convoy of, we were in the front and we had a couple of our friends behind us. And my dad was furious. I still remember looking at his face, but then he looks in his mirror and he just sees all of our buddies coming through this blue cloud with their windshield wipers on, and he just instantly busts out laughing. So it was a little bit of comedic relief as you look in there, but it's like, oh my God, I just did thousands of dollars worth of damage to my camper because I didn't replace a dry rotted tire. But seeing all of our buddies drive through that cloud of blue, I mean, it was clean water with just a blue treatment in it. It wasn't wastewater yet. But now's a good time to check those tires, make sure they're not dry rotted so you're not fixing more issues later if something catastrophic were to happen. Now onto the contact wash stage. In the soap we're using today, it's important how we chose it. So there's a lot of car wash soaps out there, but because we're only using 3 products today and we're not gonna be going back through and waxing this, that all-purpose cleaner is gonna strip the vehicle of any kind of waxes. So it's really important that you put some kind of protection back on the vehicle. So for this one, we're using the hybrid ceramic car wash. And not only will it add protection onto the vehicle as we're going, but it also helps it dry faster too. So if you're working in direct sunlight or anything like that, and you're trying to get this dry before it has water spots, this will help shed that water off the vehicle faster for us. So it's kind of killing a couple different birds with one stone by choosing this soap specifically. And what we'll do is we'll foam it on the vehicle. For what we're gonna use to scrub this, it's important that you have something that has some reach to it. So both of these you'll see, I think this one's up, I'm 9 feet tall, so this is probably around 8 feet. And then this one, less. So we have a microfiber wash mitt. This is much less aggressive, super safe on black paints and all kinds of just regular vehicle paint. So if there's a black area where you can really see scratches, I'll definitely be using this. I'm gonna use this on pretty much the entire surface of the vehicle. But then this one, it's also soft, it's a flag tip, so you can't just use any one. There's a lot of brushes that look like this that are for scrubbing a deck. They're a lot more stiffer bristle. These are super soft, and you'll see the edges are kind of frayed. They call it flag tip. And what that does is it makes it a lot softer on the surface here. So I'll use this typically to get into the grooves of all the doors and plastic pieces. I'll use this to scrub the speakers, so it can kind of have a lot more depth that we can get into it with. I usually will just pre-treat these with the foam cannon, just spray it on. If not, just get a bucket. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna get a bucket because that way, when you dip back in the bucket, it kind of releases the dirt from here. We pre-treated it, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. There's not that much dirt on there, but it's a safe precaution anyway. And I'm just gonna show you guys the difference real quick between contact wash and just surface spraying it. Let me rinse this off. I don't know if you can see that clear line right there, Brett. See all these little mold spores? They're just super clean right here. So you really need to be doing a contact wash when you're washing these, just spraying it on, rinsing it off. It's gonna get the heaviest, but it's not gonna get down in the surface. Now for the third and final product we're gonna be using, just gonna go around, spray on the windows, clean those up. If you're wondering why we only use 3 products today, well, if you look back a little bit in our videos, there's a tier list video, and we sorted all the detailing categories down the detail chemical aisle. based on like the importance. If you only had like $100 to spend, you walked down the aisle, which ones are you gonna get? And the top tiered products that we had in there was a glass cleaner, a car wash soap, an all-purpose cleaner. You can pretty much clean any vehicle with them. Now there are nuances to make it easier. Like there's plenty of jobs here where if we had some other products, it probably would have been a little bit easier to clean, but you can get the job done with those three. So that's why we only use these three in this video. If you like the camper content, we're thinking about doing some more different types of vehicles. So let us know in the comments down below what vehicle we should clean next. Thanks for joining us in this one. We'll see you in the next one. Did you enjoy that video? Well, guess what? We got more of them. There's probably one on your screen right now. Give it a click and check it out.